Hey everyone, and welcome back. Ready for a deep dive into something kind of wild? We're looking at cybercrime in Nigeria. But hold on, it's not what you think. It's got a twist, a real head scratcher. Okay, get this. There's a statistic going around saying 61% of Nigerian scammers, their parents, they know. Yeah, you heard that right. Their parents know what they're up to. I mean, come on, 61%. That's like more than half. It just felt off, had to be a mistake, right? So we dug in, deep dive time. Our main source here is an analysis from the SCARS Institute. That's the Society of Citizens Against Relationship Scams. If you're new here, these folks see the damage these scams do every day, the human cost. It's awful. Anyway, the analysis is called, no joke, 61% parents.pdf, straight to the point. And it doesn't mess around. It cites investigations by Nigeria's own EFCC, that's their FBI, basically, saying, yeah, in over half their cases, parents knew. Imagine being the investigator, right? Every other arrest, mom and dad are in on it.
It's mind-boggling, isn't it? That number really hits you. But to get why it's such a big deal, we got to talk about Yahoo Yahoo. This isn't kids messing around. These are sophisticated scams, global reach. We're talking victims all over the world, and the impact is brutal. Financial ruin is just the start. Extortion, I've even seen cases where people were driven to suicide. It's that bad.
It's just, heartbreaking. Especially with this extortion, like you said, that's just evil. And it gets darker. The report, it quotes the EFCC zonal director directly saying, perpetrators even use people for rituals. Rituals, man, that's when you know it's serious. That's some next level stuff. Makes you wonder what kind of desperation or darkness pushes families to that point. So the big question is WHY. Why would any parent be okay with this, let alone help? The document mentions financial benefit, like the parents are cashing in, but it's not a sure thing, more like a possibility they're looking into.
It's messy, that's for sure. Legally speaking, these parents are in hot water. Nigeria's criminal code, Section 10, talks about being an accessory after the fact. Basically, it's knowing your kid robbed a bank and helping them hide the money. You're an accessory, you're guilty too.
Wow, so they're risking it all, legally and morally. It's like family loyalty versus, well, everything else. And get this, it gets weirder. The document talks about collaboration between the EFCC and, wait for it, the FRSC. The FRSC, as in the Road Safety Agency. Like, what? Road safety and internet scams, how does that even... Someone help me out here. Is this money laundering we're talking about? Like buying cars with dirty money? Is that what they're tracking?
You got it, money laundering, that's the connection. The document, it doesn't give all the details, but it does say the EFCC and the FRSC, they're working together, see?
Yeah.
Try to track the money, the stuff these scammers are buying. Think about it. Young guy, all of a sudden he's got a fancy car, flashing cash around. That's going to raise some eyebrows, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, what, Bonnie and Clyde, but online. Instead of robbing banks, it's scams, and then they're off to the car dealership. Except, hold on, in this case, it's Clyde's mom driving the getaway car.
It's a crazy thought, but it shows you how deep this goes. In some parts of society, it's like, it's just normal.
And that's important, right? We keep talking about this number, 61%, and the scams themselves, but what does it all mean for our listeners, I mean? It's easy to think cybercrime, that's other people's problem, happens somewhere else, not to me. But that's not true, is it?
Not even close. Cybercrime, it's global. It affects everybody. Think about the financial systems we rely on, all our data online. Every scam, every hack, it erodes that trust, the trust that makes the digital world work.
It's not even just about the money, is it? You hear stories. Identity theft, people getting tricked, manipulated. It's got to mess you up inside, feeling like that, so violated.
Absolutely. The emotional impact, it's huge, and nobody talks about it.
Yeah.
Imagine the shame, the fear, especially with sextortion. People blame themselves. They don't ask for help. It just gets worse.
So stolen money, sure, but it's more like stolen lives, stolen futures almost.
In a way, yeah. And this whole thing, the parents being involved, it shows it's not just bad guys, lone wolves. It's bigger than that. It's about values. It's about the economy, people feeling trapped, making bad choices.
Yeah, it's easy to judge sitting here, but what if it was us? What if those were our kids, our families, desperate, just trying to get by? Doesn't make it right, but it makes you think.
Exactly. It's complicated. And it means we need more than just cops and laws. We need to fix the root causes.
Yeah.
Poverty, no jobs, especially for young people.
You keep saying young people, and it reminded me, the document talks about how a lot of these scammers, they're young, living at home still, makes you think about technology, the digital divide, all that. These kids, they grew up online, right? But did anyone teach them right from wrong in this world?
That's a brilliant point. It's not enough to just know how to use the internet, the tech stuff. It's digital literacy, critical thinking, ethics. How do you be a good person online? How do you know what's true? That's what's missing.
It's like giving a kid a loaded gun, right? No safety lessons, just here you go. What could go wrong?
And the world's paying the price for it, literally.
You know, reading this analysis, it's kind of depressing. There's this feeling of, like, helplessness. Like, even the EFCC is saying, yeah, 61% no. What are you going to do?
I get it. They're on the front lines, seeing the worst of it every day. It's easy to get discouraged when it's so ingrained.
So what N now W? Is there even a point? Can we fix this?
We have to. Giving up solves nothing. Right.
Yeah.
Look, these are big problems, deep problems. Poverty, inequality, corruption, it's all connected. That takes time, real change. But we got to start somewhere.
So while we're figuring that out, what can we do? Like right now?
Everything helps. Stronger law enforcement, definitely. But also education. Make people aware of this stuff. Give people the tools to be safe online, to think for themselves. And most importantly, we need to give young people options, real choices, so they don't think this is the only way.
Show them there's hope, a better path.
Exactly. Yeah. The fact that the EFCC, they're reaching out, working with the FRSC, that's a good sign. They're thinking outside the box, trying new things. That's what we need.
It's a start, right? A little bit of light in all this darkness.
And we can all spread that light. Knowledge is power, after all. The more we know about this, how it works, why it happens, the better we can protect ourselves and push for change.
We started with this crazy stat, 61%, but it's so much bigger than that. Families, societies, the whole world trying to figure out this digital Wild West.
And like the Wild West, things can change. It'll be tough. But with everyone working together, teaching the next generation, fixing the problems that got us here, we can build a better digital future.
Where maybe, just maybe, that 61% starts going down.
A future where being online doesn't mean being afraid or taken advantage of.
Now that's something worth fighting for. Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. We covered a lot, from scary numbers to hopefully some reasons to be optimistic.
It's complicated, no easy answers.
But we want to leave you with this. What about you? What can you do in your own life to make the internet a little safer, a little more human? Think about it. And until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and keep on diving deep.